Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the global door number TH1118-B-RH-AL. This is a bottom pivot assembly only, bottom only, doesn't include a top, for a Kawanier manufactured aluminum storefront door in a right-hand finish in an aluminum color, a right-hand version in an aluminum finish. So from your perspective, the door would be, you'd be looking at a left-hand reverse door, but from my perspective it would be, a right-hand door. So this is what your bottom pivot looks like, or your floor portion. Okay, here's the door portion. You'll notice 3 holes. I am not positive, but I believe that this pattern of holes, of 3 holes, is specific to Kawanier. If you have 2 holes vertical, what you're looking for is not Kawanier. All right, let's take some, and then of course you have your installation plate, or your reinforcement plate, and then a series of bolts and screws. Let's go over all of it now. Dimensionally, starting with the bottom pivot, you've got an overall height from the frame leg to the bottom of the unit itself, about 2 1/4, okay? Let's study where those holes are from the top of the arm itself. I'll just hold that up to the camera there so you can kind of see where the holes for the tapped holes come into play. So if you have one in your hand and you're matching it, this will hopefully help you determine. And you can pause this video naturally. Now this is going to be a 3/4 inch offset pivot, which is a reference to the dimension from the face of the door to the vertical axis of pivoting on the pivot. And this is going to be compatible with either a flush installation or a 1/8 of an inch inset installation, meaning the door can either be flush with the face of the frame or it can be kicked in or inset 1/8 of an inch. This will work with either. It's just going to be dependent on how you're prepping or the frame has already been prepped. So some additional dimensions. Overall width of the bottom portion, 3 1/4. That 3/4 inch is going to come into play in the sense of the vertical axis of pivoting set at 3/4. Well, the end of the tape measure is going to be where the face of the door is. Overall width of the floor portion looks like it's about 1 7/16. Okay. You've got 2 holes that are drilled and tapped there. Let's measure those or take a look at those. Okay. Now the door portion. Okay, so first of all, the bottom portion is going to allow for 1/8 of an inch vertical adjustment, which is accessed by removing the threaded cap on the top. And then once you have that open, you can get down and adjust an Allen head screw that's down in there to allow you to tailor that 1/8 of an inch vertical adjustment, which is really important so that you can tighten up the top margin at the top of the door, between the top of the door and the underside of the header, to a normal sort of condition. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. So let's get some measurements on the door portion, and this is obviously going to be bolted through the backside with these hex cap screws that you see there. There's a total of, I'm going to say that there should be a total of 3. Let's take a look. There will be a total of 2, but then you'll have this hex screw bolt that'll be there that will certainly mount through one of the smaller holes. Okay. Then a series of flathead screws are going to be for attaching the bottom portion to the frame itself. Okay. you're going to use a couple of these smaller flathead screws that will allow you to get, if you've got a threshold installed, perhaps a threshold plate installed over and into the bottom floor portion. Okay. All right, back to the door part. Overall height. Oh. About 1 7/8. Overall width, about 1 3/8 or so. Overall projection down at the bottom, because it's a little bit conical shaped, about 1 7/16. Now let's study the location of that top screw hole and down to the bottom. Okay, there you go. Common item, Kiwane aluminum storefront doors are literally ubiquitous. They're everywhere that you'll find aluminum storefront doors. It's common for us to sell the replacement pivots because, quite frankly, replacement pivots on an aluminum storefront door in a commercial application get an outrageous amount of use. And in my opinion, pivots like these are not made of the highest quality material and really aren't intended to last an outrageous amount of cycles of the door. There are better ways, certainly, to handle the installation or the hanging of a door in terms of the longevity of the opening. Namely, a better quality pivot would be one, or of course, an aluminum geared continuous hinge. But nonetheless, there's tens of millions of these certainly installed in the world. Okay. Finally, there's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the global door products that we sell, but a link to the manufacturer's website, along with a link to the full product catalog. And then finally, let's take a look at the balance of the extended information below this video. This pivot is suitable for Kiwane replacements. You can also do new installations, providing that you're going to prep the door and frame accordingly. Doors weighing up to 125 pounds. It is a 3/4 inch offset, as I had mentioned earlier, that will either be flush or 1/8 of an inch inset. Allows an 1/8 of an inch vertical adjustment. Full race bearings and design provide smooth operation. That's a reference to the construction of the bearings down here. No sag, as the entire weight of the door rests on the floor portion, which of course is resting on the ground. That makes a very efficient way to hang a door, actually. Completely tamper-proof. You cannot get without the door being open, you can't get to the screws that secure the unit to the door and to the frame. And then, of course, the top portion would be the TH1118-T. If you're going to need a set, just simply order one bottom and one top. And these are handed lefts and rights, and they are also available in a dark bronze finish as well as aluminum. Any questions on this or any other global door product, please feel free to reach out to us.